Wish I could have just used the money. It's not here. Just not. Darn. Right, cross. Can we get something for like condition? Just one condition? No, I'd rather get two. Honestly. No, I'd rather get two. It really is as simple as that. Yeah, two condition. We're not gonna. Sadly. We go to the hyphen dome. Prepare ourselves, please. Really want to repair this damage. Great. We have one remaining, but end of the world. You say it's safe. I highly doubt it. Okay. Right. This is probably. Oh, nonetheless, it's positive. Surprising. Quite surprising. Ooh. We have to give this to the lab, right? Do this. 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 We finish. One more. And we're done with the lab. Yay! That was it. Now we can just talk to the scientist and see what she has to offer. Reiko has to offer. Reiko meets you at the entrance to the lab, leaning on her crutch. Apologies. Leaning on her crutch with a glint in her eye. Walk with me, sleeper. I'd like to tell you a story. She makes her way down the corridor that leads back up towards the main commune building. When people first crossed what we call Founders Gap into the Greenway, they did so against the wishes of Andre Erlin. At the time, Erlin were trying to stabilize the Union and establish control over the Eye in the wake of Solheim's collapse. It was chaos, competing factions, failing systems, so many dead and injured from the riots. That was his priority. You both crossed through a glass-roofed tunnel, the greenway outside crowded with vines and branches, dappling the light. Erlin had ridden the greenway off, cut off from the rest of the station and linked to a broken spoke. He claimed it was only a matter of time before everything here would die. He refused to let anyone abandon their duty to the Union and cross. They were traitors to the cause, or as good as basically traitors. Reiko continues, making her slow but steady way into the inner gardens of the commune. There weren't many of us, but we believed that what was here was worth saving. We had to keep our plans secret until we crossed, and some of us left people behind. She pauses to catch a breath, voice cracking. It is difficult to know if it is effort from emotion. What we found was a disaster, nothing like what you see here. Half of the greenway was leaking oxygen into space, plants flash frozen. The other half was a swamp of mulch, as decaying matter clogged every system. We worked hard, we lost good people, we cleaned up and we closed up, but it was never going to be enough. After many, many cycles, we all knew this place was doomed. We kept on working, talking less and less, because we couldn't face it. We all developed a death wish. If the Greenway was going to die, so would we. didn't die. It did not. We crossed some invisible boundary, tipped some biological scale, and the greenway started to recover. Plants flowered, crops sprouted. For the first time, we reaped the fruits of our labor. Reiko smiled, looking up at you. I thought it was us, but we managed to do just enough to end the cycle of decay. I thought we had saved the greenway. Until today. You pass into the grow beds of the commune, rich with hustle and bustle of hive members planting and harvesting. For a while, Reiko is quiet, and you both simply observe the hypnotic movements of the work crews, the eager chatter washing over you like a wave. Reiko smiles to herself. I should have known, of course, that our arrogance was unfounded, but we needed to believe back then. We needed a myth to bring more people across the gap. You both move into a smaller corridor, Reiko following some direction unknown to you. What you have shown me is that back then the Greenway saved us, not the other way around. You didn't save the Greenway. Greenway saved you. Tell me, have you ever consumed one of the Matsutake or Jiroli caps you've been growing? I would say yes. I imagine they were delicious, nutritious, almost uniquely so, she muses. After all, they were designed for you. What? They were designed for me? Reiko has a mischievous look. At first I thought it was the location they were grown in that made the mushrooms form the aviary? From the aviary, from the labs, or from the grove different to each other. But what I have come to understand is that it is the person growing them. The Matsutake and Jiroli caps you brought me are totally unique, containing compounds never usually found in similar specimens in my possession. Many of these compounds aren't even digestible for humans, but for a sleeper like you. Reiko smiles as she leads you into the imperial garden of the commune, where the Hiffer members have planted species from all over the Greenway. Back when the tide turned, when the Greenway started to recover, we all felt something, a response. It was as if this place was not just alive as the forest is alive, but alive in other ways, communicative, responsive. We shrugged it off at the time, but now I understand why. Okay. Reiko stops and turns to you. This place is responding to us, adapting itself to us. It is growing, brooding bodies for you. For me, it is adapting, changing. It is, in short, displaying all the signs of sentience. How? This is what I wish to know too. What being is in control here? Reiko sits on a bench within the peaceful gardens and gestures for you to join her. When you have been growing the Jirolis and the Matsutakes in the aviary, those species so familiar to the Greenway, have you discovered any others? I could tell her about the creature. I'm not sure if that would necessarily be it. Let's test the theory. Yes. Reiko can barely contain her excitement. I should like to see those. Please bring me some next time you are here. Look around the garden, amazed at the sense of peace within it. Reiko interrupts the silence. There is a species of mushroom that I haven't seen in years. It was dark, short, shaped like a club. We first found it in those early days, when we were working to save this place. It was around that time that we started to lose our first members. There was some succumbing to some infection, some mold growing deep in the dark mulch that drowned this place. At that point we thought we were lost, and then these mushrooms emerged from that same black mold. We tested them and saw that they contained some compounds that counteracted the mold. They contained an antidote. Of course, as a botanist, I saw this as part of the natural processes of this system, even if the timescales seem abruptly short. But what I'm wondering is if this antidote was a gift. Reiko meets your eyes. Perhaps if you are patient, you will receive your gift too, sleeper. You both sit for a while, Reiko seemingly done telling stories for today. You watch as the light playing off the leaves and plants around you and wonder what forces could be in play in this place. After a while, you stand and leave, with a quiet nod to Reiko, leaving her to her memories. Okie doke. What can I say? This place needs more spores. I do have more spores, so I'm gonna use them. Because why not? Right. Where can we give this stock? Laboratory? One. Immediately begins work on the samples. I'll give all 3 of them immediately. Don't know if it's gonna work, but still. Good to have confirmation. I don't know what this is, but if okay, we can talk to Reiko again. Reiko's at his bench. Is at her bench, running small vials of some liquid through an old chemical analysis machine. The wiring of the spinning drum fills the lab with white noise, and you aren't sure if she notices your approach. Sleeper, it's good to see you, she looks up smiling. The little project of ours has been keeping me awake the past few cycles, but right now, well, I think I have something. What is it? The drum finishes spinning and Michael lifts a vial from it, holding it up to the light. This is something I extracted from those club heads you've been bringing me. According to my analysis, it is a substance totally unique on the Greenway. You look at the small amount of liquid in the vial. Any idea what it might be? Reiko asks without looking away from the vial. Stabilizer. Could this be stabilizer? Reiko nods. You aren't the first sleeper to come through here. Perhaps I should have mentioned that earlier. Reiko's tone suddenly drops, changing the atmosphere in the lab immediately. I just thought, she was thinking very carefully how to continue. I just wanted you to trust us. Wow. They came through a fair few cycles ago. We found them wandering in the broken section near the gap. The members who brought them in had never seen one of you before. They were terrified of this strange person wandering in from open vacuum. They were quieter than you and damaged. I did our best to patch them up and welcome them to the commune. I only really spoke to them once while I was working on their wounds along with a couple of system engineers. She looks nervously at you. I'd never seen a body like that before. I took some readings, some samples. You have to understand, I was curious. I didn't know what I was looking at. I just took a little of the damaged material, less than a thumbnail. She shifts her weight to her crotch. The next cycle they were gone. They took a little food and hiked up towards the wild margins where the greenway meets the wastes. Someone saw them in the distance, but that was it. They disappeared into the overgrowth. She sits down heavily, vial in her hand. When I saw you, I wanted things to be different. I wanted to keep you here, rather than let you disappear into whichever way they ended up. She smiles to herself. Yes, I wanted to understand this place better, but I also wanted to help you. It seems that somehow both my wishes have come true at once. She holds out a hand with the vial. This is for you. Take the stabilizer. Glass cold and smooth in your palm. Now, those club head caps made it for you. Or at least who or whatever made those club heads. She starts to clear her bench. It was right there, contained in their tissue. I only had to extract it. I imagine you understand how incredible that is. Learned enough from that sleeper to know that your body, your frame, is it, runs on some exotic technology that has a time limit built in. Somehow the Greenway knows that too. It understands your physiology much better than I ever could. It knows how to treat you. Just like that miraculous antidote that sprung from the mold. So this sprung from your persistence here. Greenway is speaking to you, is welcoming you. She looks up. I know it sounds crazy, but I know it to be true. Here's the evidence. Right. And what I also know is that it is no longer speaking to me. Even after decades here, I have never seen this kind of response. Not since the antidote so many cycles ago, she smiles. So I'm going to make you a deal. You bring me as many club heads as you like. I'll extract the stabilizer and give it to you, freely. But you have to tell me what the Greenway says. You have to speak with it, to dig into it, to find what being is at the center of it. I've traveled as far as I can. I need you to do the rest. Can you do that? Yes. Reiko sighs with relief and deflates into her chair. Thank you. I'm sorry for the other sleeper, truly am. I'm sorry I couldn't have done more, but I'm so glad I met you, she smiles. You are welcome here any time. Reiko falls silent. She looks smaller now, more fragile, and you realize how old she must be to have seen the collapse firsthand. You idle a little in the lab in case she asks for anything else, but she remains silent, and so you drift back into the tunnel, thoughts of that other sleeper, where they ended up, weighing on your mind. Great point. Grow your own. Nice. That could be nice. It's overgrown. The only way to understand what the gardener gave you is to grow it. Reiko is incredibly excited by this. I'll take good care of it, sleeper. Reiko smiles. Don't you worry. Flowers, Reiko's grow beds, nursery. Seed is planted, and Reiko is an attentive mother to it. What future is forming there? I don't know, but we are about to find out, I'm sure. Labs. Stabilizer synthesis. How am I gonna make this? With a couple of copper caps, Reiko can extract the miraculous stabilizer they produce. It's a hard thing to believe. Hard thing to believe, but here's the thingy. I want to get something out of it. I'm not really getting it. Condition. Okay. Look at me. At all. Thing might help me actually, but we shall see. Rates available. We got 1 point, but we can't do much with just 1 point, so no. Reroll all your dice once per cycle. I'm not gonna. Definitely not gonna. Hard to kill. Keep 2 dice even when condition is breaking. Okay. Condition is not going to break. Be making sure of that. So it's possible to keep yourself in good condition. It is possible nonetheless. Difficult but possible. Alright, let's cross back. Apologies. I think it's time to sleep. Straight. Got one of these. Got the stabilizer. So, oh no! Go back. Some spores, but we got the stabilizer. That's the big deal. It's a really big deal. Come on, go back. We've lost some. And I wish we could get it back. I so wish we could get it back. We have no idea. But oh well. For now. We go up. What's up there? Anything new? Nope. Not. And it's gonna be a while. Gonna be back. Send back. Can I buy some stuff? Wish I could buy some stuff. Cross. Okay, vertical fonts. Not interested in any of these things. Assignment is going to give me energy, but I'm not interested in that. say. Gives me 2 or 2 regardless. Alright, let's do that. What can I do in terms of... Oh, it's gonna be nice. Can I actually go and do this? I could lose condition. If I do this one, I won't be risking a single thing. Excellent. So that's good enough. Collecting spores. We go for Intuit. But now I have to cross back. Cross back. Nothing special. Nope. Nothing here. No. Oh wait, the risky stuff. Can I go for the risky stuff? Oh, I lose, no. None of this stuff is going to help me, is it? None of it is going to help me progress. They're here? Oh. Can I buy stuff? Can I literally buy stuff? Limited supply. Ah, yeah. No, I'm gonna use this. Ah, I lost too much money for no reason. You are firm but friendly, and eventually the merchants relent. They lowered the price, but only for you. They didn't lower it that much. Still, it is something. Crack Conway, disable tracker, enter the greenway. I have entered the greenway. Yannick. Matsutake caps. I want to bring him some caps, but I have to grow them first. That's the challenge of it. Why not go and get some more, what should I say? Spores. What have I got to lose? Energy? Got some spores. Good enough. Okie doke. Self-sustaining community. Like assignments, right? I'm gonna have to go back. Why? Simply because I need to rest. Upgrade, please. Yes. Upgrade with... We got so much money, it's just ridiculous. Condition, perfect condition, plenty of money, way to get it back, like we could do scraps and stuff. This is very good. Very, very good. Okie doke. Could have been a lot worse. No. I want us to have a very good one. Just gotta go. Yes. Right. Leaf. Do I need to buy food? I need to buy food. I can't believe it. Very well. That's what we're gonna buy. If we go up, is there anything there? Yeah, we're pretty much getting close to the end game. There is something, but not much. Send. Oh. Through the greenway. All right, how much can we do? What can we do and how much of it can we do? I don't have that. That's not gonna help. This is gonna take a while. I have to wait. I just get more of them. I just do more of them. Really? Yeah. I just need more of those things. So I might as well start with it. No, Forge, I want spores. Lots and lots of spores. And if I fail, it's still okay. Great. Plenty of spores, so that shouldn't be a problem. What else? Scrap. The scrap. Scrap for me. That's excellent. Now I have a ton of scrap. I don't really know what to do with, except to repair myself. Alright, bio port fabricator. We do 3 of these. Sure. So we did 60x free. That means that if I go to sell, 20 and 180. Should have about 180 if I sell it. Don't know. But this to sell. Did that. Got some money out of it at least. We're gonna get some more at some point, I'm sure. Sell components. No. Certainly not gonna be selling that. What else? No, not this one, and definitely not here. But this one, sure. You can get a little bit of money. That's not bad. Oh. And yeah. Back. There. And eat the cat. And that's it. Literally. Until we basically have to wait for them to. Alrighty, let's leave. Rabia. I have to talk to Rabia. See what the hell is going on. Even before you enter the office, you can hear the sound of Rabia working the heavy bag. She's hammering it, the chain creaking as it shakes with each hit. He's been like this since. Sabine doesn't finish the sentence. You are sitting on a stool looking at the terminal in the corner, searching through SNOP data you pulled all those cycles ago. Is she okay? Just angry, we all are. But you have to remember she knew Yannick for a long time. Sabine glances nervously at Rabia. What SNOP did. Rabia stops punching, and in the silence you can hear her breathing hard. Sabine looks over at her, and you sense something between them. You realize you haven't seen them together since they tried to kill each other in the same unit. A lot has changed since then. They hooked him up like a puppet, Rabia hits the bag. Rigged that thing in his head so that they could control him. Pushed the old Yannick out. I don't know why he let them in. Rabia throws a few more punches. But it's a lesson. Don't let them in. Another flurry. Yatagon shouldn't deal with corporations, and we never will, she spits. She comes away from the bag. At least Yannick's death has been treated as natural. There's a chance we can come back from this. Yatagon can hold on, but there are opportunists trying to take control. Someone turns to you. Yes, but now the connection has been broken. I've been looking at removing the trackers from the implants in Yatagon's enforcers. It's a significant job, but I think with time I can do the surgeries. The buyer walks away from the bag towards the far side of the unit. The surgeries will never happen if Yatagon collapses, she shouts back at Sabin. Clearly this is a well-worn argument in this unit. Sabin looks at Rabia. I want to help fix this mess if I can. There's the implants, and I want to return to my surgery. The low end needs doctors. What I understand now is that Yatagon can be something if we want it to be. Coming here from SNARP and the core worlds, all I saw was a gang, and with Yannick keeping me on a tight leash. Rabia believes, and I want that belief. They look unsure, and I want to be done with SNR, but I doubt they are done with me. Glance away, rubbing their shoulders. You and Rabia. Sabin fixes you with a look. Yes, Sleeper, isn't that obvious? They smile. I've been wanting to say, Sabin begins nervously. I'm sorry that I didn't tell you where I came from. I know I've apologized before, but I wanted to again. They pause properly. Well, when I leaked the data on the Sleeper program, it was to try to help people like you. They grit their teeth. But after all the cycles here being pushed down, pushed around, trying to survive, all that got away from me. So when you turned up, it shook me up. They run a hand through their hair, but I ended up here, so... Look at Rabia. Oh, of course. They reach into a pocket and take out a handful of vials. These are the last of the case. You can have them. They drop them into your hands. Yeah, so we get the vials. Right when we don't need them. After these last few, I don't know what we can do. With the SNARP connection broken, they look down. But I know there are other ways, repairs, other pharmaceuticals. I even heard that there are some labs out in the Greenway. Perhaps they can help. They meet your eye. I'm sorry I can't do more. Thank you for everything. They look away, their eyes broad with tears. Wyatt crosses back to you and sits beside him. You look at each other and you can't help but smile at the idea of them together. What are you two plotting? Wyatt cries. Sabin laughs and the sound is a welcome one. You watch the two of them teasing each other and smile. Later when you leave, you take that handful of vials out of your pocket and look at them. You still feel that core of anger deep down inside, and you don't know if it will ever leave. SNARP doesn't own you anymore. It can't, because this place, these people, own you. They are what makes you get up every cycle. They are what keeps you breathing. You put the vials away and walk through the low ends. Your senses turn to every sight, every smell, every sound, soaking it all in. Living. Upgrade point. You have 2 upgrade points. We could go with Intuit. We do need it. Ah, we need 3 upgrade points for that actually. Darn. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. I would have liked it to be a little bit different, but no, it's not. It's alright. What else can I do? There's really not much that I can do here. I've gotten the files, I've gotten mostly everything. Maybe we can make some money. Probably, possibly. Do some risky stuff. That'd be nice. Let's see. Engineer +2. Yeah, 1. Cryo. Apologies. Okay, go on. I want to deal with some of these. Use some of these. But still, I can't do anything with just money. Money isn't going to help me very much. Sounds. Random items. Your shipment. security. I'm not interested in stealing anything, to be quite honest with you. Can certainly do without it. Work assignment. This one. Ah, it's fine. Okay. Gonna use it, why not? Acceptable. So yeah. Dum. They almost ready? Maybe. Sleeping quarters? No. I don't know where I can go with this. Oops. Can I get more spores? I could get more spores, right? I could use that. Or I could grow condition. Condition wouldn't be very bad. It's all action. Spores. And be done with it. Yeah. Self. I'm good. One cycle. I don't have the energy, but that's another problem. Deal with that problem actually. Fang's here, but I want to buy some stuff. Until I buy, I'm not going to be doing anything. As we go back, we buy what we need to from chef. Right. Good. Go back. Kitty. Let's see. Any other job? I don't think there's any job. Should probably go back. Usually notify me when something comes in. So far, nothing. Base a meal. No. Yeah, actually. You could get quite a bit of cryo out of it. Do I want to? No. We don't want to do that. Center rim. I'm doing so well I don't even need to use all of the dice anymore. But yeah, let's talk to let's talk to Fang, let's see what he has to say. Fang. When you enter the service dock, Fang is already set up. Crouched among the stacks of equipment, he is leaning over a terminal, batched in a blue clo. He looks totally at home. Sleeper, what do you think? Turns out not everyone in Havenarch is set against me. A couple of my old system pals managed to ship me some of my old gear. He gestures at the pile of blinking armor. Nice kit. Fang does a mock bow. What are we looking at? One massive smoking gun. He raises his eyebrows. Fang beckons you over and has a set of scans of the waste on his terminal, with heat maps of activity overlaid. A chunk of the derelict rim is blotchy with giant red and orange marks. Does this look like a wasteland to you? Fang shakes his head. There's 100 of Conway machines out there, all lined up in a concealed hangars, and a whole underground facility to support them. Arden has got a crew out there putting them together. They must have shipped them in piece by piece, through the shipyard, ready for assembly out here. Why? They are planning something. No one needs hundreds of heavy-duty reclamation drones to run this kind of operation. Maybe Hardin masked his whole thing as an effort to clean up the waste, but there's no way this is about pulling scrap off the eye. Fang looks worried. And why is Conway in the mix? I bet no one in Havenarch knows the corporation is setting up on the station. They aren't stupid either. These scans are the best info I can get. The waste is cut off from the eye's cloud of networks, and the greenway is a total dark zone. No data can come in or out. Can try. No use. You need to enter the cloud, and there's no cloud to speak of. He turns and winks. That's why I'm gonna pay them a visit. Too risky. You forget. Have an arch come in and out of their whole cycle. I should be able to get in as long as no one I know sees me. But I need you on the outside to help disable security systems and cut me a pathway through. There's no cloud access, but if I can get inside, I can open up nodes in their network and we can work in tandem. It's a massive facility buried deep down there. Miles of corridor and ventways are wrapped around cargo bays and hangars, so I'll take more than a few cycles to work through it, but as long as you can keep them off my back, I know I can rip what I need out of them. He pulls a handful of ripper worms from his pocket and hands them to you. These are the last of my little helpers I managed to salvage, so make them count. I modified them slightly. This time they'll feed their data threads back into the systems that they are tunnelling into, creating a nasty little feedback loop. Okay. We run it just like we did with the agents. Hack the nodes I ping to locate the ports for the security systems, then slot the worms in those systems and let them go to town. He points to a fuzzy silhouette of the buried facility on the terminal. There's the entryway. This is where we can get access and slot the first worm. They'll fry the perimeter systems and get me past the first cordon. What I need from you is to keep your eyes on the facility after you kick things off. You see me pop up a security system, a server bank, you need to break in and slot a ripper to disable it as soon as you can. I can't? Fang gives you a hard look. You miss a system, you wait too long, they're gonna find me, simple as that. He claps you on the shoulder. I need you focused on this one, so I'm going to let you fire the starting gun. I won't go until you slot the first one. I'll leave a tracker running on the terminal here, so come back here if you want to see my progress. He affectionately pats the top of the screen. It sounds risky. Risky? This is audacious at least, he grins. Wouldn't be worth it if it wasn't. Vane gets up. It's all in place. You just need to make your own preparations, then slot the worm. He stretches. Just don't wait too long. I'm getting bored of all this sneaking around. Once I'm inside, I'll get the proof we need to end this whole thing, no matter what. He crouches to check the terminal. We can't take longer than 6 cycles on this thing. Remember that. He stands up. Oh, and one last thing. He lowers his voice. If I get caught, or you can't reach me, or if we run out of time, there's one thing I need you to do. Just listen, he hisses. You've never seen Fang so serious. You take whatever I've managed to pull out of that point, all that data, and you slot that stuff straight into the relay I've set up here. Points to a pile of servers and terminals, hooked into the dock with cables as thick as your arm. I repurposed the dock's SOS broadcast system to beam out whatever you put in it. Anyone with a terminal, a slate, or a server on the eye will see it. That means Havanage, Yatagan, the hub, everyone. Wow. No matter what, Harden isn't snacking away this time, he grins. I've got a bit more to do here, but the moment you slot that first worm, I'll make my move. He gives you a parting smile and turns back to the tunnel. The nerves hit as you make your way out of the service dock. Time to prepare yourself. Wow. That is definitely something. Yeah, what can I say? It's a big deal. It's a really big deal. Like a really, really big deal. I really don't know what to say. Can we use this for something or for something else across the room? So we could wait, because it's just one more and then we're done. We could certainly wait. Gotta get as much money as we can. Could get plenty of spores. Could get plenty of scrap materials. That's for damn sure. Fire. 15, 16. Yeah, 20. Something. Down. Descent. It's the greenway. This one. Both of them actually. Condition. Okay. The money, we got the stuff for the condition, we got everything. So I'm personally pretty happy. That was a mistake, but one we can easily rectify, I'm sure. We sleep. Well, let's sleep and then rectify the thing with the mushrooms, because I do wish to use the mushroom for a specific purpose. Not the worst thing in the world, actually. Moritz, sleeper, long time. Moritz is smiling at you when you leave. Clearly happy to see you again. Moritz, good to see you. Same. He rubs his hands on his jacket. Have you been? Really well. Glad to hear it. He looks up and down. I knew you'd make it work. You are a smart one. He glances around. Hey, look, I'm not down here to chat, though. I know Bliss said she didn't want to take any more big jobs, but she's changed her mind or something. It's because now we have someone looking for a refit of their ship in our bay. You would not believe it. They want their entire ship disarming. Cutting out defense arrays, weapon lockers, ship-to-ship countermeasures, the whole lot. He leans in. We'll be able to start an arms dealership with all the hardware we'll have up there when we are done, he laughs. Anyway, it's a massive job and we need some hands. Bliss said to go get you. So come on. Bliss is waiting on you to accept the job, he mutters. It'll be good to have you up there again, he grins. Like old times. Old times, yes. First and foremost, I want to get this. Really want to get this. Can we do without? I want the best. So do without. I'm gonna go with this. Not the best, but still. Yeah, we did it. We got what we wanted. Again. Put in the spores. Got a lot of spores to put in. Okie doke. So we have some of these mushrooms. We don't have any of the other mushrooms, but these. Go see if we can give them to our friend. Our friend is all the way over here. To here. Nice. And since we're here, we might as well get some extra stuff too. This will take a while, huh? Emphas says he needs some time to ready the broth. Apparently there are some ingredients he still needs to source. Alright. Can we change this? Better than before. At least, percent. Let's talk to the ship mechanic, see what's going on. When you enter the bay, it is weirdly quiet. Morris must be out on some errand, and maybe Bliss is preparing the kids? Ankita? The mercenary. What is this? I wasn't expecting this to happen. Sleeper. Ankita is drifting at one side of the bay. You missed her completely when you came in. The idea of not seeing Ankita when you enter a room would have seemed unlikely to you several cycles ago, but seeing her without her armor, she seems smaller. It's imposing. Ankita. She nods and kicks off from the wall, drifting closer. So what is this, she asks. Come to avenge Ashton or his sleeper? Or just looking for another payout? Anger is familiar, but quieter than before. Strange. I don't want to fight. And why are you here? She looks away, and you can tell her anger isn't directed at you in particular. It radiates off her like fire. You better be ready to sign, comes a shout from the bay entrance, because I've got my best repair tech coming up here especially, and they are going to... Bliss glides in and suddenly stops herself when she sees you and Ankita standing off. Oh, Sleeper, you're already here. Miss Cassetta, this is the tech I was telling you about. Best on the She stops, looking between the two of you. Wait, did you know each other? You and Ankita look at each other. He's a killer. He is a killer. Sleeper! Bliss pulls you aside. She's a mech. Bliss whispers. I assume she is a killer, but I need to land this job. She pulls you back to Ankita. Bliss produces a slate. Now, Miss Cassetta, if you'd like to sign our damage waiver here, we can start on the decommissioning. She looks at you. My tech here is eager to get started, as am I. He just scrolls his signature across the slate. Thank you. Bliss pauses. And everything is okay with the special payment terms we discussed? She gives Ankita a strange smile. Oh, fine, says Ankita, giving you another hard look. Then she kicks off and drifts to the entrance. I'll be in the gimbal, she says, and leaves. Special payment terms? You trust her? Bliss looks at the slate. No, silly, that's why we get her to sign on this damn thing. She slots the slate into a cradle by the terminal. That's another thing I have to remember to talk to Morris about, she says to herself. Always get a signature. He'll forget when I'm gone. Look, Sleeper, there's something I have to tell you. She glances around again. What is she nervous about? This isn't exactly a typical job. Miss Cassetta, Ankita, she gives you a knowing look. She doesn't have the chits to pay us, so we've made a special agreement, she sighs. I'm leaving. What? Think? Keep it down. I haven't told Morris. Yet. She looks down, just waiting to break it to him. Don't you tell him either. She stares hard at you. I'll tell him when I'm ready, and I don't want him getting worried about Ankita's history. He can be very protective. You should tell him. Look, all I care is that she is heading for the steward belt. She looks out of the bay. That's where I'm headed. Turns back to face you. Also, I wanted to ask, she stops unsure, if you'd like to come with us. Definitely not going with Ankita. Not going with her. Going to the belt, not going anywhere of the sort. She interrupts before you answer. I know things have been hard for you on the eye, and you helped me so much. I asked Ankita if she'd carry two of us, and she said yes. Moritz will take over the bay anyway, although if you stay, you are welcome to help him run it. I just thought, she sighs, you might be in need of a fresh start as much as I am. Turns away nervously. Think about it anyway. Berth is there. You've got to finish the job first anyway. And with that, she kicks away and heads to the racks before you can offer an answer. Moments later, Moritz enters with a new cutting torch for the disarming of the ambergris. Starward belt, you push your thoughts to the back of your mind. Time to get to work. So that was the other escape attempt. With Ankita? She killed that guy. So I'm not a particular fan. I could have gone with Lemon Mina, but no. It's here on the eye. We're gonna stay there and be sleep so many weeks, days, or whatever it may be. Damage cutter. Once the job is ready, you better be ready to make a fast decision. Stay with Moritz or go with Ankita and Bliss. I'm aware of what needs to be done. Very much so. I know nothing. Yeah. Good. Disappointing to end up with this. She is a killer, regardless of what you may say. She did kill the guy. Yeah, it is what it is. Cook Giroli caps. Be a thing. Could cook these. I've cooked some of them. But well, since I'm here, I might as well repair. I'm still shocked by the fact that that was actually Ankita. Of all the people I expected to meet, I didn't expect to meet Ankita. Yeah, makes sense now as to why she would. Alright, let's end the cycle. It is what it is. I expected better though. So, this again. Okay. I want to go and get the oh no, I can't eat. Oh. The character has 2 points, I need 3 points, that's okay. Eat. Okay. Leave, we're done. Let's try to deal with this, shall we? We're just gonna use all of them. Gonna be nice. Oh no, we don't need to use all of them, we just need to use one. Like, really? 100%? Take that. Right. Working on amber again is a joy. You know every inch of this hole. After all, you fitted half of it. Continue. Amber looks better than she ever has before. Bliss has done an incredible job of cleaning up the hole, and despite the exterior changes being limited, she has the impression of being lighter, somehow sleeker than before. Morris drifts by. He has been loading up the final equipment onto Amber. It turns out Ankita will be taking her weapons but packed and ready to sell at the first starward belt port she hits. But now Moritz is done. He seems in a kind of daze, floating back and forth aimlessly. You okay, Moritz? What's that? He turns. Oh, right, yeah, packed and stacked. He smiles a weak smile. Was hoping Miss Cassetta would let me keep a warhead. What do you think of her? Miss Cassetta? She seems tired and old, like older than she looks. Hey, Sleeper. Did you know Bliss was leaving? You understand now. She told him. That's why he's like this. Nods distractedly. She said this place is mine. He looks up around the bay like it's suddenly some vast space he doesn't know what to do with. You'll do a great job. He looks down at you. Hey, thanks. He smiles. I appreciate you saying that. Not many people believed in me before now. First Bliss, then you. A dark look suddenly crosses his face. Hey, Sleeper, there was something Bliss said. He meets your eye. Are you going too? Before you can answer, Ankita glides into the bay, a massive crate on her shoulder. Sleeper, you coming or what? Bliss is already on board. She stops by the terminal, holding herself in place. Moritz looks at her with a dazed expression. No, Ankita, I'm definitely not going with you. You look at Ankita, she's keeping it together now. She's packed all those bad feelings down someplace where you'll never see them and build a tough foundation on top. She may not be a mercenary anymore, but you think most people would think twice before trying to cross her. Well? She looks at you. I'm not eager to spend another moment of my time in this station unless I have to. She pauses, looking between you and Moritz. She sighs. I'll give you a minute. And she kicks off with the crate, taking it to the end of the bay, where the amber sits. Look back at Moritz. Staying. Moritz looks like he might pass out. Sleeper, are you sure? Are you doing this for me? Bay needs me. He laughs. Couldn't leave me alone with that place in the end, huh? Place in the end. He laughs again. Ankita comes back across the bay, the final crate stowed. You staying then, Sleeper? That's right. She nods. Well, okay then. One less mouth to feed. She pauses. Look, Sleeper, I'm not going to go back over everything that happened. She sighs. I'm trying to put that behind me, but I hope you find what you're looking for here. She smiles and kicks off, gliding to the ambergris, starward belts beyond. You both watch in silence as Amber's drives fire up. I guess this is our place now, says Moritz, the weight of everything suddenly hitting him. Your place. He smiles. Okay, but I'll need some help from time to time. You both stay for a while to watch Amber and Bliss and Ankita leave, and then Moritz goes to the racks to finally implement a new organizational system, and you head out, promising to be back to check on things soon. As you glide around the soft curve of the hub, you catch glimpses of the distant stars flickering through the windows. They are beautiful, it's true, but by now you think of them as a distraction. In your time on the Eye, you've realized there's nothing out there waiting for you. No fresh starts, no bright futures. Just a whole load of problems you haven't found yet. No, your place is here among the people you know and the problems you know. You wish Ankita and Bliss the best of luck out in the belt, but as you do, you focus on the vast spinning rim that rotates around the hub, on its buildings, flashing lights, its people and places. This is your home, and for now it contains all the futures you need. Fixed stars. Achievement unlocked. Wow. That was something else. Yeah, it gives me the screen again. Why does it give me the screen again? I have no interest in finishing the game as this. It thinks that this is one of the I think it's their way of telling me that this is one of the endings I can look forward to. But it's not. Next round is yours. Moritz arrives at the table with a couple of steel drink canisters. Typical to the hub's only bar, the Gimbal Lounge. He settles into the webbing beside the table and plunks them down onto a magnetic table. This place, you have decided, is ridiculous. A rapidly spinning cavernous sphere, the gimbal's weak gravity, just like the gravity of the Eye's rim, is created by its gut-wrenching rotation. The interior surface of the sphere is Gimbal's floor, which descends towards the equator where one long bar loops around the entire sphere. Tumbling out from the central ring are an array of booths and seating arrangements, equipped with all kinds of harnesses and webbing to keep the customers in place. Those harnesses are there because Gimbal doesn't quite spin up fast enough, and you watch as the clientele bounces towards the bar in lazy arcs, or shift from table to table. Graceful leaps. What are you thinking? Asks Moritz, noticing you staring out into the gimbal. to do next. Morris looks at the gimbal. I try not to think too hard about that, he says absently. Takes a drink and stretches. So, Sleeper, you sticking around? Have me. Of course, I'm going to need help in the bay. Rubs the back of his head. One cycle at a time, that's how we'll take it, nice and easy. But you aren't sure if he is talking to himself or you. We'll make it. Lifts his drink for a toast to the next cycle, he pronounces and knocks it back. Later, when you finally leave the gimbal, Moritz is still laughing, and you help him out of the spinning gimbal and back into the hub, sending him on his way back to the bay. Then you pause for a moment to watch the stars as they spin and spin around the eye. Smile to yourself and think of Bliss and Ankita out there somewhere among those points of light. The next cycle. Yes, we still have things we need to finish. It has to be kind of like this. Lounge. That's where we were. Now we're back here. Blitz's bay. Blitz's bay is now his bay, or it's his bay. I don't need any more money, so this is not going to help me. Back down. I'll finish all of these things. If I can. I think I can. I really didn't want to go with Ankita. There wouldn't have been much to convince me otherwise. Close? No. We might be. Who really does now? We have the dorm, we have this place, yeah, when I start hacking, that's when it's gonna be the real deal. For now, it's fine. What's that? We got some scrap. We got plenty of scrap. Apologies, that we can use to augment ourselves. It's a good thing we know how. It's a very good thing. Alright, let's go to bed. Open cycle. We are doing A-OK. We can survive for a long, long, long time. That is wonderful. Do we get any bonus points? No, we don't get any bonus points. That's so bad. So bad. It is what it is. Okay. We have to start with the next stuff. Disable the tracker, enter the green. No emphasis will, no emphasis based on what we do. We're gonna get to know him pretty well. What is this? One-way access. Okay. I'm ready, man. Do this. Let's do it. The one tunnels in and starts looping data through the node. The conway facility is open up to you. Godspeed, Vank. As you slot the worm, Fred jumps out of the facility. It unspools in front of you, releasing its data like the ink in the water. Sleeper, Fred's voice cracks. Moving in. Nodes, then ports, a world of interference. Slot the worms. Time starts now. Stay safe. Fred dissipates. You're on your own now. We don't have that. Bad. Can we get another one? No! You kidding me? We cannot get another one. No. Absurd. Ah. Okay. Lucky with this. data. That was pretty critical. If this one. Right. Progress. Layer unlocked. If. Extract data. Great. Now leave. Get to the next one. Oh man, I don't have that. I do have this though. This is gonna be pretty good. There are 3 of them. I guess go for that. I clearly can't do that, so yeah. What about the other one? Do this. It's just one more remaining. Oh, I need 5, 3, and 2. 3 and 2. There's not much I can do about that, but no. Greenway stock. It's progress. Timer on the terminal shows how many cycles you have left to get the data you need. Come on, Fang. Plenty of time. Pretty well this far. I need energy. Yes, I do. Ah, don't tell me I have to go all the way up. No. Just to get the extra bit. Yes. Because Emphasis is kind of busy doing that. Go, descend. Descend, please. Thank you. Greenery. Then we go over here. This is where it else. And we end the cycle. And hopefully by the next cycle we'll be ready for whatever comes. Whatever happens with Fang. Ah, 2. Do we have a 3? We have a 3, we don't have a 3. Darn it. Such a shame. I'm gonna have to check again. See which one it was. 3 and a 2, we don't have that, so let's do it again. I don't have this one either. Wow. That's pretty bad. So if we are unlucky, we are basically done. Oh well. There was a safe option, yeah. Give us energy no matter what. I got the labs, I got the other stuff. I'm gonna do some jobs, I don't know which ones, but I wanna do some jobs. Oh. Emphasis is ready and everybody else is ready except for me. I'm definitely not ready. This is all for anything. Kill him. Buy some scrap? Yes. As much scrap as possible. At least we can do something with it. up until this point we couldn't do a single thing. Cook them? No, we're not going to cook them. Let's talk to Emphas. Emphas is preparing the matsutake caps. He cleans them carefully with a damp cloth, before shaving the stalls as if he was sharpening a pencil. His knife slides through them, revealing the bright white of the flesh within. He's a good sleeper, very good, he says, without looking up. I bartered with Mingy for some kelp too, so we can brew the dashi. Know Mingy? Emphas looks up from cutting with a smile. Everyone knows Mingy. Emphas slides the sliced matsutake mushrooms to one side and takes out the closed pan. He opens the lid, and you see the green wafer of kelp sitting in a bath of water. Been soaking it since last cycle, Emphas explains. Should be good to warm now. Places the pan over the burner and turns it on low. We have some time now. He wipes his hands clean and throws the cloth over his shoulder. However, there is one difference this cycle, he smiles. You have been the one providing the ingredients, so it is my turn to provide a story. Okay. Good, this story is important to me. He gestures for you to both sit on the folding stools behind the stall. You see these? Emphas runs a hand over his forearm. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this one. Tracing the circular scars that mark them like perfect bite marks. Conway called it an anchored interface rig, a mechanical control device for piloting a heavy-duty extraction suit in low-G industrial operations. We called it a bone suit. He points to a pattern of larger circles on the shoulder. They drill it and anchor it here, then all the way down the arm. Taps each scar on the way. It maps mechanical movements to the suit exactly. A one-to-one mechanical replication. You swing your arm, two-turn arm swings too. You should have seen the recruitment vids. Strong people in even stronger suits, tearing through stone and scrap. Superheroes. Half my graduating year signed up. From company school to company shuttle. Conway from birth to death. He stares off into the distance for a moment, fighting with the memories. But the bone suits weren't good. The rate of failure was high, and failures meant arms torn off, anchors torn out, broken bones, bad stuff. So after a while, Conway discontinued them. No longer competitive, they said. He checks the broth, turning down the heat, adding the mushrooms. So there we were, hundreds of us with surgical alterations for suits that didn't work. They sent us home, back to that company colony. They spat us out to be cleaners, drivers, cooks. They gave us drugs for the pain and told us to make something of ourselves. When I deserted, bribing some passing spacers to take me into orbit, there were only me and a couple of others left. The rest just faded away. Arthritis, osteoporosis, they folded in on themselves like paper lanterns. That was my generation. The anchor points still ache, still burn. He touches the scars, but what burns worse is the betrayal. I've been on the edge a long time now, but that will never fade. Not that, and not the faces of my friends. Emphas reaches over and sprinkles a handful of leaves into the broth. It's ready. Sorry. Don't be, it was Conway's crime, and you know better than most what we went through. It is enough that you are here to listen. Emphas pours the broth into a double-walled metal bowl and hands it to you. The heat radiates through the hands, and the smell drifts up, rich and sharp like a pine forest after the rain. You drink the broth slowly, chewing the matsutake and thinking. Emphas busies himself with cleaning the pans and the bowl, sealing the kelp back up for another day. And he quietly comes to sit with you while you finish your meal. Neither of you speak, preferring instead to let the story linger in the air a little. It is not that there is nothing to say, it is that sometime in the moments after something, speaking breaks the spell. So you both idle, eager to be in each other's company. Emphas taking longer over his cleaning, his packing, and you savoring the final dregs of broth. When you finally finish and hand him the bowl, you feel the spell break and the story leaves you both. And as you leave, you know that both of you are somehow a little more empty, a little more full. Oh. Story Eater. Achievement unlocked. Oh. I have 3 points, so I might as well go for this. Great skill, yes. I've been meaning to do that for a while. It's 15. Always gonna hit here because it's making. Brilliant. I don't know what else to say. Maybe he'll need something in the future. I doubt it. Track Conway. Disable your tracker. Enter the greenway. Already entered the greenway. I need to talk to whoever it is that I need to talk to. Let's do that. Cross the greenway. Okay. So we are almost there. I need to talk to Reiko now. And then I need to go into another cycle and see if I can finish the story part. That should be interesting. Reiko has something in her hands when you enter the lab. It looks like a knotted twist of woody stems, a ring about the circumference of a human head, consisting of a single stalk at one side and a branched, woven network at the other. As you approach, she holds it up, and in the lights of the lab it looks like a crown. Who finishes your thoughts? She smiles and shakes her head in disbelief. That what grew? It is. I came to the plant this morning and this loop was all that was there. She points to a lump on the edge of the ring. The seed grew right back into itself, but twisted up out of the soil. That being you encountered in the clouds, as you call it, was it wearing one of these? She eyes you suspiciously, still unsure if she is somehow embroiled in another long prank. You work like that, she sighs. Perhaps wearing was the wrong word. She places the object on the bench and shuffles to her analysis terminal, her face lit by its amber light in the dim corner of the lab. Well, it isn't exactly a plant anyway, not from what I can tell. She gives you a serious look. No leaves, no chloroplast, just a series of filaments encased in cellulose walls. Did it grow? It seems that the seed contained everything it needed, a self-contained entity, no less. She beckons you over, but that isn't the good part. Look at this. You see a cross-section scan of the crown, its layers of plant-like structure on full view until you reach the center. There, instead of xylem and phloem for transporting nutrients, something branched and woven glints. Those wires? She laughs. I'm not sure whether to say yes or no here. These are not wires, like those in an electrical system, no. But they are filaments of a conductive material, so yes. She leans closer to the screen. But you see those branches? They remind me of dendrites, of neurons. She rubs her eyes, which is frankly ridiculous. If they're dendrites, then, yeah, those help to provide nutrients. Back at the crown on the table, as Reiko fusses over the scans, and you suddenly realize what it reminds you of. Remember signing the forms, the walk to the sleeper tanks, the cold metal floor. And you remember the crown they fitted you with. And they fitted you? Branching structure of wires and pads. No, not a crown. They called it an interface. Whoa. Darn, this is something else here. The tool of your emulation, your transference from neurons to electrons, an interface. That is your gift from the gardener. Turn back to Reiko. It's an interface. Reiko looks at you, puzzled. Something clicks in her mind, perhaps something she heard from the sleeper she had helped all those cycles ago. She starts talking partly to you, partly to herself. If the club heads were made for you, this too could be made for you, or your frame. She shuffles over quickly to the interface, a word that has stuck this strange branched object quickly in your mind. You're right, that entity is the entity I've been looking for. She shuffles quickly to the crown. They are the entity which is controlling the greenway, which has been maintaining it, supporting it, and has been guiding it for all these decades. She stops to catch a breath. They want to talk with you. Reiko leads you to a seat. I will be here, sleeper. If something happens, if you wish to remove the crown, the interface, just squeeze. She grips your hand tight. You meet her eyes, clouded with age, but bright with the thrill of new discoveries. Then she places the interface on your head and everything blinks out. Whoa. I didn't even get to say yes or no. Back into the river, back into the dark flow, but something is different. You're no longer pushed, no longer blocked and buffeted by the swarm, by the storm. Instead, it flows around you. You move and it's letting you pass. Something else resists, but it gives easily enough. You look back and you see your body. You've left it behind. Somewhere, Reiko's voice is talking to you, asking you questions. It is excited, eager, desperate to know what lies on the other side, what the entity has to say to you. You realize how long she has waited for this moment, for the moment of meeting between the inhabitants of the Greenway and its protector, and yet she's still on the outside. Gardener. You shake off the sadness. You will be her eyes. Then you see the figure, Gardener, out into the storm. It takes less than a moment to reach them. You have never felt so free. This is how Navigator must have felt, released from the prison. This, you think, is what it feels like to be in this place you were built to inhabit. Gardener does not turn at your approach. They go on planting, but their voice whispers in the waters like a sharply rising current. You grew the gift. Speech hisses around you. Good, I'm glad. What did it reach you? Then we are the same, both eager shoots, seeking one another. How does it feel to be free of your seed? They stoop to plant again. Seed? That in which you were contained, from which you will grow. Right, he's referring to the original body that we inhabited. We still do, apparently. There was some disagreement, continues Gardener, as if you were picking up our long-held conversation with the others. They felt you were a danger, but they are always cautious, especially the fungi. They like old loom. Known knowns, wide and stable networks. Why we're cautious? Mostly yes, although there are many among their number who savor short growth cycles, thick nutrient veins, and sudden shifts. He gestures out into the storm, and though you cannot see them, you feel presence all around, sensing their audience with great interest. Sensing this audience with great interest. After all, they understand that it was I who made them their crowns, and without them they would have not joined the chorus. So they see that it is not only it is only fair that you get your chance to join too. Made more crowns? Join? I made them all. Gardener moves away a little, looking for another planting spot. It was so lonely here, but before long I found them and began to let them in. Gardener stops again. There are millions, and we grow. I hope you understand. I am unused to speaking to your kind. It has been many cycles since my last conversation. I think it was with Chief Executive Trellick himself. You look around, and you see it. Every growing thing, every non-human being in the Greenway is here. They are networked, connected, branched, and linked by this strange being, this artifact of the old station. Wow. This must be an AI. It's impossible to dream of a senile farm administration AI. Impossible dream of a senile farm administration AI. A living network. Yeah, this is an AI. Could dissolve here, you realize, free of the decaying body. You wouldn't need to be a person. Why would you? Among all these other minds. You turn away from the gardener for a moment. Look back at your body. A tiny hairline thread connects it to you. You hear Reiko's voice again, still asking, still checking in. Are you okay, Sleeper? What are you saying, Sleeper? Are you still there, Sleeper? Something in you sighs alongside. A sigh that speaks of an exhaustion beyond tiredness. Exhaustion rooted deep inside you. It stems from the effort of answering questions, answering problems, of getting up and breathing each cycle. But something else resists the sigh. A yearning, a sense of distance. Desire to squeeze that hand that holds you for its warmth, its blood, its complicity. Make a gesture that says, I'm still here, I'm still alive, I'm living. Two ideas spin within you, making you nauseous. If you break that thread, you will be free. Free to dissolve here, to grow strange and beautiful among a million others. If you follow it, if you squeeze Reiko's hand, you will wake up, back in that dying body, with all the pain and warmth that entails. Wow. Made a crown, huh? Crown for everybody. But I'm an independent. You break that thread, you will be free. Free to dissolve here, to grow strange and beautiful among a million others. I'll follow the thread. Follow it. If you squeeze Reiko's hand, you will wake up back in the dying body. Your eyes track the thread across the whirling dark back to your body. This choice, you realize, will not be presented again. Don't look back at Gardner. You don't dare risk it. Instead, you follow the thread, delicately, carefully, like a diver following their lifeline back to the surface. The river whirls around you. It doesn't pull. It isn't jealous. Neither does it understand. It is, after all, just a river. It isn't a person. Flesh and blood person, with wants, with desires, with the capacity for love and hate. It doesn't understand you. You don't understand it. So you don't focus on it. You don't think about it, on what feels like such a long journey back through the dark. You set your mind on eyes instead, hands, things you can focus on, hold on to, and then, after an age of crossing, you are there, settling back into the chair, into a body in the chair, and the overwhelming sensation that comes with being a living thing with a rich, detailed sensorium. For a moment, you feel like you've made a terrible mistake. Who would choose this weight, this anxiety, this deep well at the center of existence? Then you feel it. Reiko's hand gripped hard around yours, trembling a little, sweating a little. Reiko's hand with its brittle bones and crumpled skin. Reiko's hand. And in that moment you understand why you made this choice. Then you squeeze Reiko's hand. You. Man, what a story. Warmth and light. Of course, we get the screen again. So this was another option we had for ending the story. No, thank you. That would be necessary. Paper. Reiko's voice comes wavering through the dark. Are you still with me? You sit up, the lab a bright green glare. It fades as you gather yourself. Here. Reiko smiles. Good. She squeezes your hand. I thought you'd left me for a moment. What? She pauses. Who? She smiles. Tell me all about it. Tell me everything. Tell her the truth. Tell Reiko everything. You tell her about the gardener, the strange farm administrator AI that has grown to be so much more. About the chorus, the impossible configuration of networked plants. Finally, about the choice the gardener offered. She listens attentively, but her responses are hard to read, and you wonder if she might have made a different decision had she been in your place. Thank you, Sleeper, for telling me. I know it isn't easy to say such things. People so often do not wish to hear strange truths. She looks away. And thank you for returning to me, though I know you had your own reasons. She squeezes your hand reassuringly. Something passes between you, then a kind of shared sadness for the impossible choice, the choice to escape your body or to stay and suffer it. The smile is warm and generous, and whatever the wisdom of your choice, you are glad to feel welcome in this moment, this place. Then suddenly she stands and walks a little away, as if trying to escape an unpleasant thought. You worry that she knows all too well what it takes to make a choice like you did. Reiko sighs. So, Sleeper, do you plan to stay in the commune with us? Plan to. Glad to hear it. Reiko crosses back over to you and takes one of your hands in both hers, Hyphen needs new blood if it wants to survive, and, she squeezes, you're a good friend. Feeling is mutual. Well, don't let me keep you. Reiko waves you away and moves back to her turn. And she does notice the crown in her hand. No, as she does, you notice the crown in her hand, and she places it on the bench with great care. You can't help but feel a little curious about what she intends to do with it. Then you are out, breathing the fresh air of the greenway, as if it is spring morning. Dappled light makes a patchwork of the greening landscape, and you walk into it, sensing the movement of the gardener's chorus all around. And you are glad to be here in this strange and beautiful place a little longer. Wow, what a story. That's how we could have ended the game like that. That's amazing. To me, it's still amazing. This game is fascinating. Right, the wastes. What can I do about the wastes? I can't do anything about the wastes. This. Get a little bit more scrap. What can I do with the scrap? I don't know. Lots of stuff. Maybe not that much. Expose. Yes. More spores? Yes. What for? I don't know. Could just be collecting spores for no reason. Not. Yeah, I can't. I have to wait another cycle, unfortunately. This typically has a 1. We're going to be using to bypass everything. Leave. Let's go back. We have to go back. Cross to the greenway. Alrighty, so we are here, back here. Let us see here. Right. We have the energy, so we might as well end the cycle. Right here and right. There's one last thing that we need to do. Oh, we got a free. Do it. Switch up. We could go with one of these. Go with one of these instead. Extra data. Final one, possibly. Things progress. All layers unlocked. Security layer X disabled. Continue. Clouds. A thread from the facility cuts through the cloud like a hairline crack of light. That's it, the final layer of security broken. Somewhere, buried in the depths of the station, Feng is in control. He is slicing into the camera control circuits, and piping out the results. The thread flickers and unravels into an image, a scene, 2 figures in a room, one sat and the other pacing. Pacing figures resolves into Harkin. Unmistakable superior posture, the shock, grey hair. Second figure's features don't seem to resolve, they are vague, unformed, a problem with the data. Perhaps you look closer. You see it. The figure is a proxy. Perhaps you should have expected it from Conway, a corporation whose very existence is owed to automation. Proxy is a machine designed to be piloted by remote connection. Someone elsewhere in the system puppeteering it with their own body, speaking so it may speak. The proxy sits impassively, while the Conway executive that is piloting them does, from the distant safety of some ship or orbital colony perhaps. I need to clear up my throat a little bit. We can move forward, there is no doubt. Hardin is saying the reclamation teams are almost ready, and after that I will make the declaration. Nothing has to change. Proxy leans forwards, its movement stilted. Okay. Uneven, as if the body language was refracted through water. But things must change, Hardin. We need further assurances. I have been informed of a breach in one of the closed networks in the low end. You have been careless. Hardin waves the accusation away. We have been stretched. A breach was detected, yes, but no data of value was lost. Our board is concerned, Harden. A drop in our value would be unwelcomed at this time. The proxy leans back, its posture dominant. If the reclamation of E1 is contested, then we could be drawn into a compromising legal position. Harden approaches the proxy. There will be no contest. Not from Solheim, who cannot muster a defense, not from Havenarch, who will fall into line below me. He crouches in front of the seated figure, eye to eye, and the people of the station, refugees, gangs, spacers, all either opportunists or degenerates. Havenarch is no longer strong, no longer united. No one here believes in Erlin's vision, nor has the strength to realize it. I sat across from him at the negotiating table. He was forceful, eager, weakened by his ideological convictions perhaps, but a great man nonetheless. This place no longer deserves to bear his name. The eye is crippled, it cannot survive. It is a ruin filled with squatters and outlaws. You will be lucky if it still spins in 100 cycles. He understands. You will move forward with the reclamation. Use that. You will move forward with the reclamation because otherwise you will lose your advantage in the system. Without your advantage, you will lose claims on the remaining palladium. Without the palladium, your factories will need to go dark. Do I need to continue? One moment, comes the response from the proxy, and its head drops to its chest. Harden steps back and paces once more, awaiting the discussion taking place elsewhere in the system. You watch Harden as he paces, as he considers his future. What goes on within a mind like that? In the mind of a man who would burn all those around him for a path to some imagined golden end. Proxy lifts its head. We are happy to proceed. We will legally claim the station formerly known as Solheim AE. A salvage within 6 cycles. Wow, salvage within 6 cycles. Darn. Havenarch is to assist with the transport of the illegal residents to Conway housing and labor facilities. Wow. And just to think we could have been part of the Gardener, which would have been very, very bad. Very, very bad. Havenarch is to assist with the transport of illegal residents to Conway housing and labor facilities. The proxy judders to its feet. Conway will also claim 70% of the raw output of the reclamation process, after losses have been accounted for. Harden nods. I accept. The proxy reaches out to shake his hand like a marionette, and then the recording loops. You watch it play out a second time, gripped by a horrified fascination. There is a bluntness to this conversation, to its blatant disregard for humans as anything other than objects. Things to be moved, to be used, to be fed into structures, crushed, and losses accounted for in the cells of tables, the margins of ledges. You realize now that you are no different than anyone else on this station in the eyes of the people in that room, and those like them. Each body here can be recast as a piece of property, a tool, an expense, an acceptable loss. In the moment they can be named a citizen, celebrated, protected, and in another they can be the idea of a citizen that can be used against them. And in the other, the very idea of a citizen can be used against them. This is what it means to live in proximity to a system like this. No longer, not while the eye spins. You gather the recording, pack it into a polygon, purest light. Then you drift down into the service dock, the failing leaf, find a relay. It only takes a second to place that polygon of data, that recording, into the relay system, being prepared. And then you watch as it bursts out, a web of threads, heading out into the black to every network device on the earth. Let them see what power makes of a man. Icebreaker. Wonderful. Okay. We have one upgrade point. We could use, but we need another one. We need another point. We're good for now. Have to upgrade everything. Wow, man. Absolutely wow. Where can I... Ooh, sorry. Shouldn't have done that. That was a mistake. Doesn't matter. Where am I gonna go now? Like, seriously, where am I gonna go? Gonna go here? Did you... what? Harvest mushrooms, okay. safe? Is it not safe? No. Positive, maybe, maybe not. I can leave. Go back. Put more of these in here. Go for one. I don't even know if we're gonna have the time to harvest them again. We may not. The story is moving so quickly now. So quickly. It's astonishing. Beyond astonishing. Okie doke. What can we do? Well, we can leave. Definitely leave. Where can we leave? I don't know. The building is chaos. Most of it is in total lockdown. No one will give you a straight answer about Fang or Harden. I don't know what this is. What's happening? I have no bit of this now. Much. I mean, what do you expect? Interesting stuff, man. Interesting stuff. Some money at least. As much as I would have liked, but still. Whoop. To the hub. Okay. Few repairs. It's risky. But even if I fail, it's still fine. Okay. Anti-cryo, nice. Got lucky. Really got lucky. Essential. What else am I supposed to do in? I think I'm gonna be checking every single thing that is around this place. But for now, I'm gonna be sleeping. Let's see. Can I use this? Yes. Cycle. Apologies. This is really important. Start action. Possibly even use a stabilizer. This moment. I really do have everything I need here. Bad. Disable your tracker. I have to wait for Fang to return. Whoop. Already used it. Oh well. It's as good as it's gonna get. Seriously. Just as good as it's ever gonna get. To be sure, I think I'm gonna be getting some more scrap. Can I get some more ship stuff? Yet, but possibly in the future. Get some more scrap. The greenway. Stuff here is basically done. Let's get the scrap. Scrap. I get something at least. I'm gonna be using this. Actually, we should keep that. Just use this. What if we use this? Is there anything remaining here? No, nothing. Ah, we are starving. No way. Go, 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 go. Go buy some more food. Wait. Unacceptable. All levels. We get some more food. Okay. What were we saving this for? We were saving it for something. Certainly saving it for something. I can't really remember what, but okay. Maybe to go up? Maybe to use something? I don't know. Right. Yes, let's enter this. Right. Simple as that. Alright. Let's use the money, feed the cat. And yeah, let's end cycle. See what happened to Fang. That's the last thing that we can do. Literally the last thing. T1. Come on. Redo this. Thank you. Let's go get some extra energy. Need it. And we are at max. So let's see what happens to oh, we can take some of this. We even need it? We don't even need it. No, we don't need it. Let's just talk to Fang and see how the story is going to unfold. This is probably the last chapter, last thread, last variable we need to see. Fang grins at you as the bay door slides open. Above, in the rest of the building, people are busy, frightened. They speak in hushed tones and organize endless meeting after endless meeting. Havanage have avoided a full-blown crisis for now, but change is coming. Fang is in good spirits and bundles you inside before you even have the chance to greet him. That was the slickest operation this station has seen. He hugs you firmly. You made my job easy. He shakes you by the shoulders. I am so proud. Thank you. And, he smiles, I got to watch through the cameras as the Havanage security that weren't in on it assaulted the station. Fang smiled. One of them straight up just whacked Harden with their pistol. It was beautiful. What are they going to do with him? I'm not sure anyone knows, but he is cooperating in dismantling his operation and scaring off Conway. Maybe they'll exile him when they are done, or hand him over to some core authority. Fang shrugs. Now I know he won't be an issue. I'm going to be focusing on systems for a bit. Going to be focusing on systems for a bit? He shakes his head, seeing as that's my actual job. Right. He points to the ceiling. The people upstairs weren't so happy though. They've been fielding questions about the state of the eye right and left since the recording got out. People are scared. I'm surprised. Yeah, this whole thing hasn't won me many fans in the administration, but I think in the end they'll agree that outing Harding was worth it, whatever the methods. He touches a stack of hardware. The eye is old, and it was never meant to run like this. The master control points that Erlin and Havanage installed, they keep it spinning from the rim. That isn't ideal. But if you're asking me if the eye will stop spinning next cycle, no. And me and a ton of other skilled people will be working to stop it happening in the next cycle after that. Arden's problem was that he didn't believe in people, he believed in systems, and their ability to shape the world around them. Fang squeezes your shoulder. But as far as I'm concerned, people should be the ones running the systems, not the other way around. Anyway, Fang raps on the side of his tunnel. I know you didn't come here for a lecture. Tracker? I haven't forgotten. He produces a thumbnail drive. I managed to finish that code solution I showed you. It's a modified Ribbleworm, one made to deactivate the tracker of yours. But in the time since I got back, I added something extra. The tracker of yours doesn't just show SNR where you are, it transmits data about the state of your body, your current condition. My worm won't just deactivate it, will edit that data to tell SNR your body is irreparably damaged. DNR, do not retrieve. He grins widely. Pretty smart, right? Thank you. Just slot it already. Just take the drive and hold it in your hands. Then you close your eyes and open up your access ports. Take down your defenses. The worm immediately enters your closed network. It whips through it, taking things with it as it goes. The moment they are gone, you forget they were ever there. They just blink out of existence. A second later, it is done. You open your eyes. How do you feel? Asks Fang a little nervously. Same. Give it time. He pats you on the shoulder and looks at the terminal screen. The logs tell me it works, so feel it or not, you are free. Fang lets the same word free hang in the air a little before he continues. Seems like it might be finally time for a celebration. Fang wraps his arm around you. Jenna still owes us those drinks. Alright. I guess that's one way to put it. He laughs and you join him, and later, when you leave, you feel deeply thankful for having such a friend. As you walk away from the building, you look up at the wide curve of the eye, up at the hub and the outer rim beyond it. The whole thing twinkles with lights, and it seems impossible to see it as anything other than breathtakingly beautiful. It feels in that moment like something eternal. Doesn't mean it can, or it should, or it even should, last forever, or that it will never change, fade, or decay. It simply means that in this moment, this place has a future, and it is one that you know deeply and truly is worth protecting. Another upgrade point. Interesting. Which one are we gonna go for? Probably gonna go for this. We? Yeah. Why not? It doesn't really matter where we put the points now. No active drives? That's it? That was the end, huh? Okay. Was the end, so administration. Let's see, what can we do? Return. Something's in here. Just to deal with it. Get a little bit of extra credit. Let's check to see if there's anything out here that we actually might have missed. Criminal agent. Not much is going on actually. It's the same as before. So yeah. Really not much is going on. Could have gone from one place to another, but we didn't. I think we can buy shipment fragments. I don't know. We could buy some more stuff. Definitely buy some more stuff. Do what with it? No? Two of them. Seems fair. Alright, so my last bit of effort into this whole thing. We completed all the drives and all of that stuff. My last bit of thing is checking out to see if there's anything anywhere we can go or anything. This place will be a no. Is this place a yes? It is not. Certainly not. I'm not interested in that. About this place, auto exchange. No. I can sell components, but I'm not interested in that. Fabricator, emphasis store. That's it. We finished his story. House. Yeah, sure, we can get some of it. This as well. Okay, let's leave. Bingy. Pure or risky, depending on what you want. Not interested. Bed hut. Horse. Let's feed the cat. Always. Leave. Pasta. Nothing. He's not offering us anything. Right. No, that's not gonna. No. Here we can basically sell stuff, which we don't need. Check this place. Basically checking everything just to be sure. But I think we're pretty much done with the game. Engineer. Right. Good input. Nice. We don't need that. Lounge. Nope. Meal. Capsule. Capsule, I'm not sure how that's gonna help us. Ascend. Move. Okay. Over here. Let's see. This is nothing. This we could steal, I suppose. Work them? No. No need for that. This one? No. This one? Not ready. This? These are the labs. We put 2 of them. Get us a stabilizer synthesis. We can synthesize a stabilizer. Don't need it because we can repair ourselves now. We're self-sufficient. Self-repair, yes, yes. You can do that. Point. Commune. Work assignment. And of course there's the wastes. Let's go to bed, see if anything happens after that. Might, who knows. Positive or negative. Let's see. Okay. We definitely lost quite a bit of energy. Are we going to get that back? Yes, indeed. We're going to be getting great. So now we go back home. And if we go to sleep, I want to see if anything happens. Does anything happen? If it doesn't, then that's it. Nope. Yeah, that's that. Cross to the rim. Anything new? There is literally nothing new. That's it. So yeah, that seems to have been the game. We are way past the victory screens, and I was expecting an additional one at the end, but apparently no. There's no additional victory screen, there's nothing special, we're just free from anyone's control, from general control. I don't know how to say that. No active quests, we've done everything we could have done. I don't see anything else. So that was that. Literally was that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Flux episode. See if there's anything special that we need to do with that one. If there is, then super. If there isn't, then yeah, I think there is. There must be something. Until then, well, I suppose we're going to be ending the stream over here. This was one heck of a game. I really did like all of the places that it went to. It went to a lot of different theories and certainly some aspirational outcomes for some people, I suppose. I'm curious how other people chose. I chose to stay here. Can't really say I have much of a connection to the place, but I wanted to stay here just to see what would happen in the end. Apparently nothing happens. Apparently you just get to stay here forever, so that is an ending in and of itself. I would have liked to have had like an ending scream specifically for that, but that's okay. We've had mentions of it throughout the sequences that we followed. So yeah, happy with it and looking forward to the updates, and also looking forward to the next game. Until then, I hereby bid you goodbye. If you wish to find me, you can always check the Discord channel. You can also find small snippets on YouTube. I usually leave them there every now and again, or on Reddit. So yeah, up until that point, take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you on the next episode. Bye bye for now.